Book your driving lesson now at dla-driving.co.uk. Sponsored by DLA Driving School.
Hello and welcome to Oh When the Town. It's played 3 and lost 3 for Luton Town as West Ham take away all 3 points from Kenilworth Road's first ever Premier League game. We're going to talk about the game in more detail and possibly touch on what I can only describe as a very controversial ending to the game. We're going to talk about the transfer window shutting briefly and also have your 3-word reviews. Lots and lots to think about and talk about this evening. So welcome, lads. Welcome. As usual, we have Steve and Batara. How you doing?
Yeah, pretty good, mate.
Good, mate. And yourself?
Well, I'm all right. I'm a bit disappointed with the result last night.
Yeah. A bit of an anticlimax.
Yeah.
Let's face it, the way the game went as well. So, yeah, we'll get into that, though.
Do you find that the media circus around the football ground last night was strange to see, Batara?
It was very strange. I mean, I get it. I mean, we kind of knew it was going to happen, but I mean, to see that many cameras, and that many people surrounding the area, and just asking so many questions like, where's the where the fans congregate, etc., etc. But yeah, it was weird, but we expected, didn't we?
It will settle down.
Yeah.
It will settle down. When
we walked up past the Bobbers up Beach Path last night, they were still fixing the turnstiles on, which I thought was, fair play to them. Just keep going until you get there in the end. Did you notice in the Bobbers stage the amount of press up in the new area?
Yeah, it was quite good. I looked, all the way along, cameras and people there. It was good, and it was nice to have a decent amount of people sort of on that side of the pitch as well.
So I was close to that. I can't even see it because my eyes are terrible. But yeah, that's probably why I shouldn't be on this podcast. But never mind. Anyway, let's continue.
Well, let's look at our 3-word reviews for the game. Luton Town 1, West Ham United 2. Fraser says we're getting better. Richard, Burke, Anderson, Bell. Matt, our best performance. Andy, lots of positives. J-Mo, Brown over Elijah. Diane, should have equalised. Lee, keep Doughty fit. Tom, conceding soft goals. James, surely a pen, and LTFC memes, robbed by VAR. Anything stick out for you, Steve, there?
Keep Doughty fit. I thought he was exceptional. Mm-hmm. I thought he was the most positive attacking-wise that I've seen him in a Luton shirt. I think he really fancied it, and I thought he was really good.
Mm-hmm. He caused problems, didn't he, down the left-hand side?
Right.
Right-hand side to begin with, and the left side. Sorry, my bad, second half, but yeah.
Any stick out for you there, Batari?
Well, I mean, we'll get onto it, but we're getting better. Genuinely, I felt we're getting a lot better. Like, I know, like, we're eradicating mistakes in a way, still making them, but not as many. You might disagree, and obviously Matt, our best performance. I'm sticking on the positives tonight because I feel like we genuinely, we were in the game for the majority. But like I say, we'll get into that. I'm sure you have a difference of opinion as well, but from where I was sitting, I feel like we're getting a lot better.
I like what Tom said, conceding soft goals. I think I was disappointed with the first, which we'll talk about. Mm-hmm. But we've conceded soft goals in previous games as well. You look at the issue at Brighton with Elijah, and then Chelsea. Really, we sort of gave them so much time and space, and I was hoping we'd tie that up. When we look at it though, full house, first Premier League game under the lights at Kenilworth Road. Quite an exciting evening to be at. And we had 2 changes from the Chelsea team when we played Chelsea, Anderson and Doughty for Lockyer and Kabore. Was you surprised about those changes, Steve?
No, not really. I was surprised about Doughty going on the right-hand side to start with, but I think that worked pretty well. Mm-hmm. Obviously, Anderson came in with Lockyer being injured and that. So, I don't think there was really anything else that we could have done with that starting lineup, to be honest with you.
But Tara, what did you think of the atmosphere at the start of the game last night?
I thought it was brilliant. I mean, I know obviously you sit in a different section to us boys, but genuinely I felt like the crowd was on top of it. They were pretty much from minute 1 to 90. I've heard a lot of people say it didn't come across like that on TV, but I think that's probably due to like the deafeners and what they use and the switches and whatever. But
Yeah, I've spoken to a couple of people and they said that the atmosphere didn't come across well. I thought it was, pretty vocal. We stuck with the team throughout.
Yeah.
So I was surprised it didn't come across. But I remember we were on a couple of seasons ago, and I think it was at BBC, and the atmosphere come across so much better than when we've been on Sky.
Yeah, I think it's because they can control it, can't they?
Yeah,
the volumes and stuff.
Maybe the 30-point song meant that they turned the volume down, so they didn't have to apologise all the time.
Maybe. Yeah. No, well, to be fair, I mean, does anyone know they apologised last night on TV? Does anyone know that? They did?
Apparently, yeah.
Oh, they did. So, okay, right.
Which is a bit
Always.
stupid, If
But they've got to, though, wouldn't they? It's pathetic, but they've been told that they have to.
We started quite quickly, and I'm thinking, hey, here we go. Let's keep this pace up, and let's really take this game to West Ham. And we know that they were literally top of the league just before they came down, and so we got going quite quick, and we had a really good quick early chance with Ross Barkley. He just pushed it wide, didn't he?
Yeah.
Who was running in on the post there? Because I thought there was an absolutely brilliant chance to finish it off.
You should know, Dave. That's down your end, mate.
Yes, mate, but I was sober.
Ah, yes. So you were seeing singular rather than
to
double.
be fair,
Okay.
I think it could
Makes
have been
sense.
Elijah. I don't know. Could have been Elijah. So we had a really, really good chance, and I'm thinking, let's go
Snatched
for it.
it.
Were we hopeful that we could continue that for the whole game, or were we under no illusions what we're going to do?
I knew that we were going to sort of put the pressure on for the whole game. There's no sort of denying that. West Ham I know they've had a good start of the season, but they're allegedly like a mid-table team probably by the end of the season. The way they pass the ball quickly in triangles on the left and the right, and we were doing a lot of chasing. There's more than one way to win a football match, and we're gonna do it our way. But just seeing the pace that they passed the ball at and the accuracy, and it was instantly under control. It's something that we're going to see probably every game. We're going to have to get used to it.
Oh, 100%. Every game, like you say, it's going to happen every game. Like we've noticed it from the first 3 games, like the opening games. I mean, Dave, you'll know you've been to every game so far. You always say about the pace. The pace of the Premier League is ridiculous.
Yeah, really.
And you can see it.
Yeah, ridiculous and unrelenting. I was, we'll go through it, but I was thinking, you looked at the West Ham players, and every single one of them, they just looked proper athletes. Really,
They knew what they were doing.
exactly that.
Yeah.
But look at the size of their players. They just seemed a little bit a step up from us.
But I find it strange that our players aren't at their fittest, to be honest with you. But maybe the levels of fitness are similar, but that smartness of the passing and and using the ball is where we're sort of doing a lot more chasing than maybe some of the other teams.
For me, at times last night, I'm not saying that we're not as fit as West Ham, because look at the training camp they went on. They are really up for this, and the staff are doing miracles with everything they've got. But there were times last night or on when we were playing that I just didn't know how we're going to keep up with them. I just felt at times. Now, I know we walked away from the stadium and I said I didn't think we played so great, but Patara, you thought we did all right.
Do you know what? Seriously, right? Maybe I don't know. Maybe I had my rose tinted spectacles, whatever they call it, and being my bias. But genuinely, last night I was really proud to sit there and go, we've competed. I mean, people might not agree with that. I mean, I spoke to a few people today in the pub and whatever else. And they felt the same. Like there's people that don't even like support Luton. They've gone. I mean, my friend's a West Ham fan. He went, do you know what? Fair play to you lot. You give us a tough game. And to be fair, what he said was, if you'd got a point out of it, we wouldn't have complained. And that's what I think David Moyes' post-match interview as well also suggested that. So I'm proud. I'm proud of the performance. Really am. I am.
I just felt that goal scoring, I thought we were lacking creating those clear chances. And on the
I agree with that.
on the half chances that came, it seemed for the majority of the game that they were snuffed out really quite quickly, or we didn't make the most of it. So the goal scoring it didn't look like we were going to get sort of a few goals last night.
At one stage, I know the Sky commentary team said that we'd only had 4 shots on target through the last 3 games, which is a Premier League record. So we got that one. So I'm not worried
That's
about
one
that.
they can talk about. Eh?
I just felt that maybe West Ham really didn't get out of second gear.
I don't. Nah, see, I disagree with that, Dave. I'll be honest.
Okay, is that because we played better than I thought?
Yes. That's literally about what I was about to say. Like I said, Steve probably looking at me like, what are you talking about time? Shut up, man. But no, seriously, right? West Ham, the first 2 games, I've watched the first 3. I've watched the last 2, should I say. They're a team also that don't like possession, right? Neither do we. It would be an interesting game, which I thought it was. But what I'm going to say is, coming out of second gear, I'm not too sure. I just feel like we put the pressure on them a little bit. And like, I've spoken to a few West Ham fans today and whatever else, and they generally feel the same thing. Like, they weren't able to come out of, like you say, second gear, if that's what you call it, because of the way we played. We did a good job. Like, watch it again. We did a very good job.
West Ham certainly weren't playing at a canter. West Ham were playing full out, and you have to say that we done a really good containing job.
And at times, I generally felt like we were looking. They looked. I'm not saying clueless, because that's not the right word. Obviously, they know how to adapt. They're Premier League. We get that. They've got some players like Paquetá and all that lot. You know what I mean? Brilliant internationals. But we put them out of their comfort zone slightly, I felt, because they weren't expecting what we were going to bring. Didn't get a result, fine, it doesn't matter. I get that. And people go, doesn't matter, didn't get a result, whatever, fine. But genuinely, there was a comfort zone with West Ham, and they were out of it sometimes because they hadn't been put under pressure. Well, not like other teams, of course they have, Premier League teams, but we did a good job, and I don't think they expected us to do what we did.
It wasn't a stereotypical Premiership evening for West Ham. I think that's what you're saying. Because we approached the game differently to a lot of the other teams.
It was
in that
very
division.
bitty. I mean, certain parts of the game were very sort of like, it's swaying this way, it's swaying that way. There's no balance. It was very much no balance in the game. That's what I felt. No balance whatsoever.
First half, I thought was particularly quite even, to be honest with you.
What I felt was that West Ham United, they did break quickly and they broke effectively, and they moved the ball real quick up front. And from one of those moves, they went up, had a major chance, and then a little bit later they started to press on, and I thought they took a little bit more control of the game, and persistence, and Bowen finds space,
quality as well
between Bell and Giles. I don't know how he gets there. The cross from Paquetá. Paquetá was spot on. As it went over, we just knew it was going to be finished. But should we be disappointed with Kaminsky there, Bataro?
I don't like bashing players. At the time, I felt maybe it was a bit closer than what I thought. Should have done better. It's straight at him. But look, these things do happen. I'm not going to sit there and slate him. I don't think anyone within the football club will slate him for it. It happens. I think what happened was, from obviously my angle from behind the goal, I don't know about you, Steve, obviously you got a similar angle. It looked like the ball was point blank. It was a quick reaction. Try and get his forearm around it, try and force around the post. Unfortunately, it went to the side net, and that's the gist I got of it.
Would you agree with that?
A lot of people around me were saying that Kaminsky should have gone for the cross. The cross wasn't from your stereotypical position out wide. It was quite infield.
It was a brilliant cross as well.
Yeah, it was a good cross. However, for me, maybe a bit Kaminsky maybe could have gone for the cross, but certainly for me, it's not working between Bell and Giles. And bearing in mind how well Bell done with Doughty last year, I think that's an area where we have got worse at the moment.
Is that not a step up though, Steve? That's what I'm going to ask. Is that not because of the step up, the quality? You've not got as much time to ball, etc.
Well, it could well be, but the amount of times, particularly against Chelsea as well, they could put the ball over the area of where Giles was. I'm sure Giles will come good, but to me, it seems like it's all going on around him. He doesn't seem to be as on it as the other players, almost like he feels that he doesn't belong they're not your teammates at the moment. He just seems a little bit out of it for me. And as I say, for me at the moment, it's not working with him and Bell together on that left.
I mean, after the goal, we had some chances, half chances even, and you're hoping that we might get one back, but don't concede before half time.
Yeah, I mean, we had that. We had a half chance, and I think Elijah put it over the bar in the first half. And it was a half chance, but we've got to be taking them, or we've got to be working the keeper. And we keep saying, you've got to be ruthless because the other teams are ruthless, and if we don't take these half chances, because at the moment that's all we're creating. So we have, we've got to do something. Going back to the three, I thought Elijah worked really hard.
Yeah.
Particularly at the start of the second half. So I'm not having to go at Elijah, but I feel that Brown is pushing for his place at the moment.
Well, you want the competition between the teams.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good thing, and Elijah will know that. And so will Brown, and so will Morris, and so will anybody else. Woodrow, who wants to start.
Yeah,
they're going to compete for those positions. That can only be good for the football club and the squad itself. We go in at 1-0, and you're thinking, well, it's 1-0. We're not out of this game, and we're hoping that we get a good start to the second half, and then immediately they come out and there's a goal, and I'm just thinking, Lord Almighty, well, where's that come from? And just to be fair, it's the first time ever VAR has been used at Kenilworth Road. In real time, sitting right opposite the place where they scored, I didn't see an offside at all. And you wouldn't have, with that, in the Championship, that's a goal.
I know, to be fair, though, I think the lino put his flag straight up, didn't he?
The lino did put the flag up relatively early.
I think it was straight away. I think the flag was up.
Not sure.
The flag did go up, but only when the ball hit the net.
No. Well, you say that, but I think he knew straight away. He wouldn't have put his flag up otherwise. He would let it go straight to VAR. So I'm pretty sure that he knew it was offside.
Close,
but like I said, it was very close.
Close call.
Very close.
But, there you get that lifeline. And let's build on that. And
exactly that as well. Like the lifeline. It did feel like that as well, didn't it?
Yeah, it was a lifeline
like
for me. It goes in at 2-0, we're done. That's what I felt.
Yeah.
Although, that did work out a little bit differently. But if that was 2-0 at that time, then we're done. And we keep going and we keep going. And we did have they had another chance with Ward-Prowse and Ben Rama, Ward-Prowse to Ben Rama and Burke, by the way.
Yeah.
Brilliant, huh? Brilliant. Blocked it on the line. And you're thinking, just get the ball, get some possession. Yeah. Get some possession, keep the ball, and let's be Luton like we are at home.
Yeah, exactly. I think they were trying to be. There's no doubt about it. But say the step up in quality is maybe denying us the freedom to play how we naturally do.
Of course, yeah. This is where we have to sort of like. I think Rob Edwards alluded to it. I think yesterday in his post-match interview, wherever he went, we might have to change what we were doing last year. I'm sure that's what he said. Either post-match, pre-match, one of the interviews, he turned around and said something like, we'll have to maybe change what we do to suit other style kind of thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know exact words, but that's
you've
what
got to adapt to the new circumstances that we're in. And,
it's tough.
The longer that we don't get a point, the longer that it takes us to get a point, the more disbelieving we're all going to be getting.
Yeah.
And, then it becomes, people in the stand shouting shoot at the wrong time, or because we all want them to score a goal.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think there have been improvements. That's without a shadow of a doubt. And at this stage, you can say, right, well, we've improved. That's fine. It will come. But particularly, I'd imagine for the players, for each game that goes past where we're not getting a point, it will become.
It'll play with the mind.
Yeah, it will play on the mind. It will be on. It will be a monkey on the shoulder. So we've got to start getting some points. And Edward said that himself.
We had a decent chance just before West Ham scored. We had a decent chance with Elijah Adebayo, far post, far right. Just couldn't get out of his feet to put the shot in. But Torres doesn't remember that one.
Just close down.
Yeah, close down. Yeah,
close down. Is at the far post. Yeah,
he had like 2 attempts at it, and he couldn't. He just couldn't get it in. And then the sucker punch comes, doesn't it? Kaminsky, I thought genuinely, apart from the goal, I think he had a fairly good game.
Yeah.
But the corner from which they scored, First off, Rob Edwards said that we should have had a corner first, and then he went down our end and got a corner.
I agree.
But you cannot let
Mr. Cat Kicker.
You cannot let someone of his size have a free head. Where he was.
Yeah,
This
he
infuriates
shouldn't
me.
have a free run onto it. I mean,
No.
I said at the time that it's 2 naff championship crappy soft goals that we've conceded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, if it was a work of art that's just beyond us, absolutely fine. But they were 2, say, bag of crap championship goals that we'd have been really furious about conceding last
It's one
season.
of those ones where it goes in and you think you just throw your arms and you go, what's the point?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What is the point?
'Cause
Because you work so hard to keep yourself in the game.
Exactly.
And then,
Work so hard.
And then that. And then you just go, oh, so I'm getting, So I'm slapping my hands on the desk here. I don't need to get like mad, but
No, you can be mad. It
No,
just
you're
shows your
right.
passion.
It's
It
just-
shows your passion.
it's
but-
frustrating because you know set pieces. You know Ward-Prowse's going to whip it. You know he's going to whip it. You don't know
Yeah.
where he's going to whip it. That's fine.
But
But you're leaving their centre half free,
Mm.
a guy who's 6'4" or whatever he
yeah,
is.
he was.
Do you know what I mean? Very good player.
He was head and shoulders above our defence before he even jumped. You know,
He didn't even need to be though, because he was up
and it was
3 yards wide
powerful.
of him.
And then
So does someone who's a little bit clever stop him even having the run?
Give
Does
him a
someone,
nudge.
Yeah,
does
someone, yeah.
or just
give him a-
block him?
yeah,
Or just
yeah,
block it.
That's it.
yeah, but
Go
then
with him.
and then rightly so, he come over and had to go ask for giving it to him all the game. You know,
that's
fair
what
play.
happens, yeah.
So at 2-0, you're done. I'm thinking you're
Yeah.
done. And you know, I think unfortunately we left it after that point. I just thought, you know, we really went for it. We sort of woke up.
Well, when we bought Benny on,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. He was brilliant.
He showed a lot of purpose and directness.
Directness, exactly, yeah.
So yeah, I quite like that.
And then we get our first ever Premier League goal at home.
Mm-hmm.
Madge did well to get to that, didn't he?
I love it. I love that kind. I love them kind of goals. Headed goals as well. A little flick on then between 2 defenders.
Yeah, I mean, he
Beautiful.
put it away nice.
Yeah, he did.
He did.
Direct. He was calm. He was composed. And do you know what? Little touch on Mads Anderson. I felt
What was that?
At times.
92nd minute or something like that.
92nd, 93rd, I believe,
92nd,
yeah.
93rd. And you're thinking, well, that's a consolation. And then we attack again and we attack again.
I thought we'd have one more half chance.
One more chance.
Yeah.
Well, we did have one more half chance, did we? And this is what we're going to talk about. The corner, a cross in, and what... Well, I don't even know how to describe it. It's a handball. Surely it's a handball.
I didn't see it at the time, and I certainly didn't hear any appeals. I didn't.
I saw players. I saw a couple. I think it was a
Yeah,
couple of Morris maybe like, shouting about something, but I had no idea what.
Because
Yeah.
and the good lady said, "Oh, I should have had a penalty." And I thought, oh, okay. And then when you see it,
Did you
I
feel
mean,
sick when you saw it? As well? Yeah.
gee, you know, for goodness sake, you know, that is what VAR is there for. You know, it is a clear error
Yep.
from the referee. You know, he's giving it one of them. It's a clear handball. There is no ifs or buts under any rules. That's a penalty. VAR should have got involved.
On the...
His arms up here by his head, pretty much like this. Well, maybe a little bit like, but you know what I mean. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I think
Ridiculous.
on the match feedback from Sky, they had a former ref whose name I forget, Foy.
David, no, not David Foy. I don't know. But
I can't remember who he was because I was listening to what he was saying, and he said that in his opinion it wasn't a penalty, but he said, and the thing that really pees me off here, he said that if he had given the penalty, VAR would have backed the penalty.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the fact that he didn't give the penalty, VAR backed that he
So
didn't
it's
give the
basically
penalty.
you're backtracking his words.
So
yeah.
if he says that, it's a
Crazy.
penalty, right? It's got to be a penalty. And I know it sounds like we're moaning. I've never liked VAR. We've said this many
Can't
times.
stand it. This proves my point now. Or well, our point. Just get rid of. It's not going to go, but just
but
get
it's
rid of it.
interpretation of the law, isn't it? And that's the problem. Every person looks at it differently. Of all the pundits last night, most of them said it was a penalty, 100% penalty, except for one. And
Yeah, but
It
that's
frustrates me.
Yeah, but that's what's annoying, Dave. You know, the opinion of a former referee, you know, has said that his colleague was right. You know, that's not a blinker judgment at all, is it? It's just complete nonsense. You know, everyone can see that it's a clear handball.
but what they should be doing now is releasing the footage of them judging that, so we can see how they made that decision, right?
Oh, they won't do that, will they?
But they should.
I mean, they should, yeah,
because
but
then
they
you'd
won't.
understand more about the look. If there was
But
no
Dave,
hey,
sorry.
Tara, let me just finish.
No, go on,
Let
sorry,
me finish.
go on.
If there was no VAR in the Premier League, last night would have been 2-0 down, and we wouldn't have moaned about it. You know, it was a goal, and we'd have gone, right, let's get back in it.
Yes,
And
but the
but
fact
if
that he has
we'd
it.
have shouted handball, there's no VAR. Oh, well, the ref's idiot. He should have given it. But there is technology there to take these errors away from the game, and they're still
Exactly.
happening.
And why is it not being used as well?
But as I said a few weeks ago, wherever there's human intervention, there will be mistakes. All it's done is move the crap decision from the referee to
the system.
someone in an office. That's all it's done. It's just moved the crap decision.
But there's more than one person watching the game, isn't there?
I think there's about 8 people.
Yeah,
isn't
it's
there?
ridiculous.
5, 8 people maybe.
How
I'm
can-
not too sure, but yeah, something like that.
And you know, it's going to happen, and it's already happened during the season. And we're only
There's
we're
a lot
no,
of mistakes already in most all the games already. There's been a few mistakes in the Premier League. It's crazy.
I think
Can't keep
they've
happening.
been letting a lot of things go. Like last season, some of the tackles on Friday night would have been called for a free kick this time. And you know, again, I don't think we got caught offside on Friday. I think there was one offside the whole match that I remember. I don't think we've been caught offside at all
Maybe you're saying this last
in the
night,
Premier
actually,
League,
after the game.
which is pretty good going, I think. Or is that because we're not pushing the ball forward enough? I don't know.
Well, I don't know, because Elijah doesn't mind an offside flag, does he? So
Loves it, doesn't he?
yeah.
So has the international break, Bataro, come at the right time, or could we do without this another stop?
Look, I don't like these questions. I don't like how you give me these questions, Dave. You asked me last time. Personally,
He does know this is a podcast, doesn't he?
Yeah.
yeah, no, I know. But I just don't
How
like.
dare you ask me questions?
He always asks me the same one every time. It's international break. I mean, last time I said, yeah, I think it's come at a good time for injuries, blah 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 blah, whatever. I mean, you're probably recalling that, but this time I'm thinking, no, we just want to get stuck in. Just get stuck in. Now I'm agreeing with what you said, Steve, the other week. Just get stuck in and just. But
Whereas this time, I think it is a good time for us.
see, this is what I mean. So we are different people. Wow, that's amazing.
We are. 'Cause I think we can use this couple of weeks wisely to bed in some of the new players.
Yeah.
Hopefully get a bit more coercion with Giles and Bell, because there's no doubting that Giles is a good player and he can produce really good chances for us. So we need to sort of try and work out what's going on there. We've got the lad from Arsenal that will come on to, I dare say, but yeah, I think that this will be 2 weeks really well used by the management and the coaches.
Interesting enough, when you look at the stats and the possession and the shots on target and the XG, I know you don't like XG, Bataro, before we even go there. We had 16 shots, only 1 on target.
16 shots, really?
Right.
Wow.
And they had 9, and they had 3 on target and 2 went in. But our expected goals, our XG last night was hard in there. It's 1.47. We got in some great places to create those chances, and that's what that's all about. That's our first top flight home game since 1992, which is crazy. And the first meeting in any competition between us and West Ham since March 1994, which was a 3-2 win for the Hatters in the FA Cup. I think I went to the first game at Upton Park, which was 0-0.
Yeah.
And then we that 94 was the semi-final run.
That was a great one, because I went up to Newcastle as well in the previous round.
That was tremendous goal.
Tony Thorpe's
Tremendous
first goal, brilliant.
Because you had a good time, didn't you, when you lot were growing up?
Yeah,
we did, yeah.
FA Cup against Newcastle and West
Very,
Ham.
very quickly, I remember one memory of that Newcastle game. They had this massive flag going round the main stand, and some Luton fan had a Luton tea towel. And we just passing
What,
it.
a small little tea towel, like a beach?
just passing it along.
Was it even the size of a beach? Like
no, it was just a tea towel.
Wow,
yeah, well
amazing.
funny.
Whoever that was, they're still about. Amazing.
Well done. It
Love that.
was probably Piper, wasn't it?
There was badges on it, so
John,
yeah.
it's probably yours. John, if it was yours, then make sure you leave a comment under the video, mate.
Amazing.
And just a couple of other little trivial things. We're the 6th side to lose our first 3 games in the season in the Premier League. Wimbledon's done it, Swindon have done it, Leicester have done it, West Brom and Wolves have done it. So let's just hope that we can get things back together. for the
Long
next
way
few
Did
games.
any of them survive? That's what I want to know.
Long way to go.
There's a long way to go, absolutely right. And I genuinely did leave the stadium a bit deflated yesterday on Friday night. And
I know, Dave. I know.
yeah, and only
It even
because
brought me down.
Yeah, but only because I really, really want this club to do something. I'm sick and tired of the ridicule we're getting all of the time. I'm sick and tired of the Domino's pizza entrance. I'm sick and although a good bit of marketing, I'm sick and tired. Oh, look at this crap club in the crap division, and I'm sick and tired of reading, listening to it, and listening to all the rhetoric.
I suppose what people will say now is the Premier League's a shit division because we're in it.
Danny Baker's been a bit of a mug as well, isn't he? Honestly, he's really desperate for attention. Jesus.
They were telling me about this last night, to be fair.
I would say,
get over yourself, man.
If you do follow him, or if you don't follow him, go follow him and just.
If you do follow him, don't follow him ever again.
No, I'm going to say,
unfollow him.
Just give him some back when Mill were playing, because I did. I probably shouldn't have done, but I did. Let's move on. I mean, no points. We're going to regroup, get back to the next game, and let's see what goes. Currently we're not bottom of the league, so that's cool.
Lovely.
And there's, we're only a couple of points behind everybody else, and we've got a game in hand. So there's all my positives.
That's right. No, not the game in hand. It never done Sunderland any good.
Or Middlesbrough.
No, that's their B team though.
Yeah. Let's not get into Middlesbrough. Should we touch on them as well?
No, you don't talk about Middlesbrough. We're just going to leave them.
We don't care about them anyway.
We'll just leave them alone at the bottom of their own division. Okay, transfer window. How do you rate our transfer window, boys, this time?
I think it's good. I think it's very good, to be fair.
We've certainly come out of it stronger, which has always been the what they're looking to achieve. Whether these guys turn out to be capable of doing it in the Premier League week in, week out, time will tell. But it's certainly a much improved team from before the window opened.
So I'm going to be really, really honest with you all. Lukonga from Arsenal. I don't know much about him at all.
Sambi Lukonga, yeah. I mean, to be fair, all I know is they signed him. I think he's Belgium international. Well, not a full, but you know what I mean. But anyway, when we signed him, I know he was regarded at the Premier League level as he's not a great player. He was signed by Arteta, and meant to be this very good midfielder. I mean, I've seen him play a few times, and he's played for Arsenal. He cost 20 million. He cost him, I think, 18, 19 million pound. Not that it means anything, I know, but money speaks. If people go into budgets, this and that, like we do ourselves, but this guy, I think, will massively improve us. Genuinely. Okay. I mean, I couldn't really believe that we signed someone like him. It sounds silly, doesn't it? I mean,
so I don't know him, so he's got a completely.
He was signed as a first team player 2-3 seasons ago, whenever it was. And obviously, I know a few Arsenal fans, and they're going, "Yeah, he's all right. He's not great. Like, don't get me wrong, we wouldn't like to have him."
Yeah, again, that's a different level again. Though,
exactly,
isn't it?
They're at elite level in the world. We're not. So I think it's a smart, sensible signing.
I want to ask you a quick question.
Go for it.
And this is totally, you're not ready for this. Is Ross Barkley a Luton type player?
Do you know what? Judging from what I've seen so far, I think he's a bit off the pace. I think he's a bit unfit. I don't know if unfit's the right word, but if you're referring to him not being going off with the team last night. I had actually forgotten about that when I put that question to you, but that's unforgivable. But I mean, how he's playing. Well, to be honest with you, I think he's got time to bed in and become one. That's how I'm going to be diplomatic about it. I think he's got time to fit in with the way we are. But he's been at higher levels than we've ever seen from players at our club recently. So, maybe there's a little bit difference there. But he comes across, when you've listened to him, and he really wants to succeed. So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt.
There's a lot of hope, isn't there?
Yeah, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt.
The only thing I will say about Ross Barkley is, right, he's not used to playing, for me, like the formation we're playing, the system we're playing. He's not really, for me, like I said, people might disagree with us again, for me, he's not an out-and-out centre midfielder. He's not. He needs to be playing further up the pitch, for me. That's for me. He might sit there and go, actually, if he knew me, he'd go, sorry, actually, shut up, mate, you're talking absolute nonsense yet again. But look,
it happens,
doesn't it?
Yeah,
it does.
Yeah. Occasionally, especially with a few beers.
So bearing in mind what you've said, bearing in mind what you've said, was it wrong that he was in the starting lineup last night?
No, I think Rob knows what he can potentially do, and he's been there and done it. So why not have that little bit of experience in? I think just see how long it takes him to bed in and just step up a bit.
He'll come good.
I think he is the one person that can find that pass, but his passing and vision is only as good as the movement that is in front of him.
It's 3 games into the season, boys, as well. It's literally 3 games into it. I don't look at nothing, right? I always say the same thing, right? It's cliche, whatever. 10, 12 games. I always say the same thing every year. don't judge anyone all the season.
But there's less games. So if you pro-rata it down, it's probably
8 to 10 games. Then
7, I was thinking.
Anyway, let's talk about.
Close.
I watched the interview that Luton put out with Tiden Mengi, and I thought actually this guy could be a real asset to this club.
I watched some highlights on it as well. Like I said, I've never really seen him play before, to be fair. I remember, I think he had a spell at Derby a few years ago, if I'm not mistaken. But that's all I know. But I don't really know him from that. But I've watched some highlights of him. He's not the biggest of guys, like, height-wise and whatever else, but he's a bit of a unit, very aggressive and good on the ball. I was even thinking maybe he was brought in maybe to replace like a holding midfielder, like do you know what I mean, as cover, potentially as well, because he looks like that kind of player. Looks very versatile as well. So I don't know, maybe, but I think it's a smart move.
Of all the people that we brought in, we got to look at who went out, and obviously Joe Taylor's out there doing his stuff, and he'll be back. But what about the others that have gone?
Well, Fred's doing his business as well.
Fred at Rotherham,
scoring goals.
Mendes Gomez to Bolton, Elliot Thorpe to Shrewsbury, either of those. Jack Walton, Dundee, Luke Freeman's contract's been terminated. McAtee, Barnsley, Watson, Charlton, Musquet, Exeter, Piera, Sutton, and Pepple, Bromley. But the one
You're forgetting Macy as well.
Oh, Matt Macy's has been released
today. Yeah,
and the one that really disappoints me a little bit is Alan Campbell going to Millwall.
I think it probably disappoints every Luton fan because his endeavour, his tigerish sort of attitude to the way he was playing. The season before last, he was starting to get amongst the goals. You thought, how can you not be picking him? But since Robbie Edwards has joined, he's never fancied Campbell.
No, he hasn't.
It immediately, we spoke about it a couple of weeks after Campbell, after Edwards came, and we said maybe one of these subtle changes, a little tweak that he's made, has made Campbell's job, a little bit more difficult. I remember we spoke about it at the time. I think everyone's really disappointed.
I'm devastated personally.
I think he's an absolute magic player. I'd love to have him around, but he's never fancied him.
He's going to fit really well in Millwall, isn't he?
Well, he's a Millwall type player. But everyone keeps saying, like we say, cliches and whatever. But Dave, honestly, I want to ask your opinion. How do you feel about the whole Campbell? Steve, you sound like you're pretty disappointed.
Yeah, I am. Yeah,
I'm genuinely. When I saw him going out, my brain went cold.
I knew it was coming. You could see it coming.
Yeah. That's the thing. I didn't want to believe it, and when it came true, I was very shocked. Very shocked. Even though I knew it was going to happen.
Well, the thing when he first came to the club, we were saying on the podcast, and I was saying I was looking forward to seeing him play, and I was disappointed by how he started at the club. Yeah. And then he got really good at it. I mean, let's not cry over it. He's only on loan. He might come back. You never know. But, for me, I'd like to have seen him stay. I think he deserves a chance, and I'm disappointed he hasn't had that chance. But he'll do well. He'll do well at Millwall.
And I can't. There is going to be several scenarios through the season where that last 15 or 20, you're going to be praying to have him on the bench.
I agree.
But I can understand him thinking, I don't want to be on the bench.
This is what I was about to say. I think for me, it was a personal choice from him. I think, Rob Edwards, like I said, we don't know. But from what I'm thinking is Rob Edwards would have happily had him as a squad player. But he was not happy as a squad player. He wanted to play more minutes.
No, I can understand.
I can understand that.
Of course, he's a brilliant player. Like I said, I'm devastated. I'll be honest. I almost felt like I wanted to let a little whinge yesterday when it happened. I thought, I'm not going to do that.
I thought he was going to have a little tear.
Yeah.
I was going to say that, but, it is what it is.
Just before we go, we'll give you a couple of thoughts on what you guys have said, just a couple, about the transfer window focus. Gaz says, for the league we're in, probably 6 out of 10, if we're being honest with ourselves. Obviously restricted by our budget. The fella promoted sides both spent almost as much on one edition than we did on 12. Now, that's a pretty good fact to have. Yeah. And you realise now what we're up against. Ian said 6 out of 10, not convinced with a few, very happy with others. It's the way it goes.
Yeah.
Whatever happens, it's the biggest transfer window we've ever had. Yeah. And we've spent more money than we ever have. Yeah. And, 2020 have allowed Rob to do that. And hopefully, the club will push on and hopefully we'll get our first Premier League point soon. In fact, next game, hopefully. Just one more thing, and I wanted to say it. Exeter away. Anybody going?
I'd love to. I would love to.
Right.
Is it Tuesday or Wednesday night, isn't it?
Well, surely we're not going to be able to get tickets.
Well,
Stop it, Steve.
let me just say, Steve,
I think I might be able to get one.
I'll
Yeah.
be able to get one or two.
Last time we went there, I think we won 4-1, didn't we, in League Two? A great day out. Me, Luke,
In the way end.
yeah.
In the way end. Look at the vlog. They did a video log of that one.
Yeah, I bit Steve's shoulder because we celebrate so much. Well, I celebrate so much.
The
I
original
shout out.
Steve, though, yeah.
Long time.
Oh, yeah, not
Yeah,
you, Steve.
yeah,
mate.
the real Steve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The good-looking Steve.
We have to get a point soon. Before we finish, we've got 5 fixtures coming up. Fulham, Wolves, Everton, Tottenham and Nottingham Forest. Now, Forest and Tottenham, I think they're a difficult one.
Going to say Spurs are free scoring at the moment, aren't they?
But we do need to get something from those next 3 games, surely.
Yeah.
You can see a defeat at Fulham, but Wolves and Everton, yeah, you've
After watching Everton today as well, we have to do something. I'm sorry, but Sheffield United made them look shit at times. Excuse my language. Made them look shocking, should I say. But
these are the games that, we've got to pick up points. If we're going to have any chance of staying up, these are the games.
because we can't afford to go into our next 2-3 games going, we've got 0 points, 1 point. We need at least 3 or 4 points by that stage. That's the way it is, unfortunately, in this league. Otherwise, we're going to sit there and go, Premier League, bye-bye.
How soon?
Let's build.
How soon before? I mean, let's be realistic. We're all positive about the football club. We're all positive
Of
of where
course,
we've been and where we're
have
going.
to be.
Yeah.
And we've got to remain positive because this is going to be a very tough season for us this season to escape where we are. And no, I still believe we can do it.
Yeah.
But what will it take before maybe the crowds don't like it anymore?
Well, when we've only scored 2 goals in 13 or 15 games.
Right. Well, that's not going to happen. So it makes me
Well, I'm just saying. That's what I'm saying. So yeah.
Some people will moan about anything though, and if people can't see the
Bigger picture.
the size of the task ahead of us, then they need to sort of re-educate themselves.
And they're not worthy.
It's going to be frustrating. It's going to be disappointing at times. But it's a massive step up that we've taken. There's going to be a few good days. They're the ones to cherish. Whatever will be. But for Christ's
Okay,
sake,
Sarah.
you can't be sort of starting to moan about things.
Well, I'm going to finish with this. I have never been prouder of this football club than what we've done now.
course,
And so whatever happens, it's going to enjoy the ride, everyone. Please, if you've been watching on YouTube, like and subscribe. Leave us some comments below. We are not going to be here next week because of international break. We'll come back, and we'll come back after the Fulham game and go back to normal. So thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Give us a like, and we'll see you again soon. Take care.
Corner town.
Go on, Luton!